Greetings and welcome to this edition of
Positronic.
I'm Barry P. Cook, and I'm here to talk about the latest episode of Superman and Lois entitled Failsafe. It starts off with Superman confronting Tal as he languishes in his green-lit kryptonite prison, and he's asking him, where's the Eradicator, where's Leslie Lar, but his half-brother keeps mum, doesn't give him any answers. Next we see Clark talking with John Henry, who says that he's going to stay around. But soon enough, Lar emerges, and the two of them fly off to deal with her, and they manage to capture her, and so they put her in a special prison as well. Then there's a scene between Superman and the General, Lois's dad, and he vows to eliminate almost all of the anti-Kryptonian weapons that the military has, kryptonite gun, that being raw kryptonite guns, kryptonite swords, so that Superman and his kids and whatnot won't ever be in danger from the military again. And I thought that was cool because I thought it was crappy that he did that in the first place, had all those weapons. And he kind of says, I was wrong, I shouldn't have done that. So I like that. We jump over to Lois. She is at her job at the local paper. She's trying to print the whole story of what happened. And normally when these big events happen, she's able to get a comment from the DOD, which is run by her dad. But he says, no, I can't really give you a comment. You can't really print all the details of what happened. I don't want the story getting out of Smallville. So she kind of has her hands tied there, but she's not happy about it. Next, we see that Tal in his cell starts to have flashbacks about when he was sort of trained and conditioned by his dad to be the killer that he is. Not really sure why they showed that, but they did. Superman then confronts him again, and he tells Superman, you should be a god. You're holding back. You're a servant to these people. It should be the other way around. And Superman basically blows him off and tells him to get bent. Then we go back over to the paper, and Lois's boss knows that Lois isn't being forthcoming with her about everything that happened, and she's not happy about it. Then there's another meeting between the General and Superman where he says, okay, I told you before I want to get rid of all the weapons. This is what we're dealing with. And I have warehouses of raw kryptonite. I just want to bury it away so that no one can get their hands on it and hurt you and hurt the family. And he wants to end the 7734 program that came up with all this stuff in the beginning. And Superman says, you know what? You were right to have all these things. Because apparently it is possible for me to turn against my usual nature or turn away from my usual nature and become a villain. And what if that happens again? You need to be able to protect Smallville, the world, whatever. And when he tells Lois this, she's kind of pissed because she feels like those things are a danger to Clark. And of course they are, but Clark is right. Anything could happen, and we've already seen that. And someone needs to be able to take him out if he goes rogue. And it's not a new concept. In the comics, Batman famously had some kryptonite stored away as a contingency plan in case something exactly like that happened. And he ends up having to tell Lois, look, here's the truth. Yeah, I was able to resist this time. And yeah, my heart is with humanity and I would never want to hurt anybody. But I'm not incorruptible. I'm not perfect. And so she says, okay, let's make sure that there is some kind of safeguard in place. She agrees with him. And he turns to John and says, I want you to run 7734. I want you to be the watchdog that keeps the program going, but at the same time doesn't let it get out of control to where it becomes a threat to my family unless it's necessary because I've gone rogue or whatever. And John sort of agrees reluctantly. Now, back in Tal's cell, or Edge's cell, he somehow manages to go supernova. I guess it's because he absorbed the Eradicator previously. That's what it seems like. And so he escapes his kryptonite prison and he flies out to the sun, I guess, to supercharge himself or to go through some kind of metamorphosis with the help of the sun. I don't know what that's about, but I know we're going to see. And that's really all I have to say about this episode. The show is off until August 10th, so it'll be a couple weeks before I have another review. I want to say one thing about this episode, and it's a recurring thing with this series. They seem to have gone out of their way to make this show more of a regular hour drama than a superhero show. And it's worked from the standpoint of it comes off as much less silly than The Flash, which is a pretty serious show, but it's also very, I don't know, I want to say flighty and fanciful. Whereas Superman and Lois is much more grounded, and it's certainly much more grounded than Legends of Tomorrow. I mean, it's not even in the same universe, even though it is. And it's even different than Supergirl, which again tends to be kind of flighty or a little goofy. This show is much more grounded in what I would call regular drama writing, where they write the characters as regular people going through regular stuff, more than they are written as comic book characters who go through comic book things. And on the one hand, it's really good. It really makes the show rich and feel real. I don't want to say gritty, but real. It makes you feel like Superman is real because everybody else feels real. The kids, Lois, Lana's family. And again, Lana is not hard to look at. and they're just doing great human character stuff with these other characters. Lana, the husband, her daughter, Clark's kids. So on one hand, it's really great. It really enriches the show and makes it great on the one hand. But on the other hand, it's like there's so many scenes with Lana and the husband, and it's like I enjoy it from the standpoint of someone who enjoys good writing, good drama, grounded shows, who wants to see very human characters going through very human things and very human struggles. But on the other hand, it's like it's a Superman show. Can I have Superman flying around and punching things, please, more than this? So I'm caught between a rock and a hard place on that when I'm watching this show, because I like what they're doing on the one hand, but can we just take it out and do more Superman? Like, I don't know. I'm torn. I can't say I hate it. Can't say I love it. It's just there, and I like it, but at the same time, I hate it. I don't know. I hated it more in the earlier episodes, but it's really grown on me because they've done great work with the characters. And especially the husband, he seemed very one-dimensional to me at the beginning. Like he was just going to be this one-dimensional, like, town asshole. But they moved away from that pretty quickly. I mean, this is the first season. They're only 10 or so episodes in. And they've already evolved him so much and rounded him out so much and turned him into a character that I actually like, because he's not perfect and he is kind of a hothead, but he's also a good dude, which I didn't think he was going to be. So I'm glad they changed that or ended up there, because I like the character better. And I think his relationship with Lana is really cool. But I just also want more Cape stuff. So I don't know. Anyway, the show is off till August 10th. I'll be back with a review of the next episode shortly thereafter. But I'm going to take off for now, and I depart from you saying, as always, peace and long life.